What a night of Champions League football. What a night of Champions League football. Let us talk about the Champions League. So these are the second leg. This is how the second leg games went, right? We're going to start with, or I'm going to start with the Sporting Lisbon Bodo Glimt game. That was the first game I actually watched. Incredible game. Incredible game. I did not see this coming. And if you watched my pre-match analysis on all the games, you would see that I got some of the predictions right, and obviously I got some of the predictions wrong. I did not. First of all, kudos, big ups to Bodo Glimt, big ups to Bodo Glimt. They did an incredible job. Actually being a small team from Norway, coming to this very point. But sometimes class just prevails. Class just prevails, and that is what actually happened today against Sporting Lisbon. Sporting Lisbon actually wanted to kill them. I'm not even going to lie. Sporting Lisbon was pressing Bodo Glimt like their lives depended on it. And big ups to Sporting Lisbon for winning, for coming back 3-0 and winning the game 5-0. Incredible. Sporting Lisbon are not going to, they're not just going to be a pushover. They are going to be very, very tough because with them going to the next round, they will be facing Arsenal. So that is going to, they are going to prove a very big obstacle for Arsenal. Now let me transition to the next game, the Arsenal versus Bayern Leverkusen game. What an incredible performance by Arsenal! What an incredible performance by Arsenal! Arsenal did not only win that game, but Arsenal dominated that game. Arsenal dominated that game. Now let's start with how Arsenal lined up. Arsenal lined up with the formation of 4-2-3-1. Raya in goal, Ben White at left back, Saliba, Gabriel centre backs, and Hinkapie at left back. Then Zubimendi, Rice, Eze, a typical three in the middle, and then Saka, Gyökeres, and Trossard started as the front three. And very fantastic performance from Arsenal. Absolutely showed who was boss today. You know, I think the disadvantage or the worst thing that could have happened to Bayern Leverkusen was actually conceding a goal in the first leg. Assuming they won that first leg 1-0, they could have come to Emirates and just try to sit back and defend and maybe try to hit Arsenal on the counter. But because they drew that game 1-1 at home, they had to come out and play. And when you come out and play Arsenal, you are going to be there's a at least 98% chance that you're going to concede, and there's almost like a only 2% chance that Arsenal is going to concede because Arsenal do not concede goals. They don't concede goals. Arsenal's first line of defense is David Raya, who is actually the best goalkeeper in the world currently. Him and Courtois, in my opinion. But I saw a stat today that um, David Raya has about, is it 20 clean sheets or 26 clean sheets this whole year or something crazy like that. Incredible, incredible. Look at the saves the guy even made today. That guy is phenomenal. If David Raya is not Spain's first choice goalkeeper going into the World Cup, then their coach must be daft in the head. There must be something wrong with their coach in the head. So, um, what were the stats of the game of the game? So the match stats was yeah uh so Arsenal had 21 shots. Arsenal had 21 shots. Bayer Leverkusen had 9 shots. Arsenal had 12 shots on target. Bayer Leverkusen had 2. Um, Attempts out of box. Arsenal had 8. Bayer Leverkusen had 4. Um, so yeah, just yeah, Arsenal killed them. Arsenal killed them. Like they were no match for Arsenal. And at this point, Rival fans need to start taking Arsenal seriously. And these guys are going for a quadruple, and Arsenal is going for a quadruple. And big ups to Arsenal because this wasn't overnight. This was not overnight. This was years of, like I said, of insults, of bottling, of trial and error, of failed transfer windows. This wasn't just overnight. This thing that Arsenal is doing now, that they're going for a quadruple, it's not overnight success. That's what a lot of people need to understand. This was years of failures, of failing, years of being clowned, years of being disrespected, years of coming close and bottling it in the last minute. Arsenal have a final against Chelsea, against Manchester City, the Carabao Cup final on the 22nd of this month, which is this coming Sunday. Do you really think that Manchester City can you know would you think they can win Arsenal with the way Arsenal is going right now? Well, we'll just have to wait and see on that one. But yes, 2-0 Arsenal go into the quarterfinals of the Champions League and they will be facing Sporting Lisbon. Now, the next game we're going to talk about is the Chelsea PSG game. I actually thought Chelsea was even going to win this game. If I'm not mistaken, that was my prediction. I thought Chelsea was going to win this game. However, I didn't think they were going to qualify, but I thought they were going to win this game. But listen, they were battered and bruised. They were beaten like how an abusive husband will beat his wife. They were taught a lesson. They were like, can you imagine? Aggregates 8-2. 8-2. This is the Chelsea that was shouting, give us PSG, give us PSG. Because they beat PSG 3-0 in the Club World Cup final. Give us PSG, give us PSG. Now PSG has spelt your name. 8-2. Shameless club. Look at Chelsea. I knew one thing that would affect them. It was their defense. Chelsea don't have a good, if their defenders face like fast players and skillful players, they can't deal. Chelsea cannot deal. This recruitment that Chelsea keeps doing, buying these young boys and wanting to put them on you know 100 years contracts, no experience, nothing. Chelsea needs to change it, because if not, they are not going to. Well, let me not say that, because even with this, they have actually won the Club World Cup and one other trophy. But if they want to win the Premier League and go back to the Chelsea of before, it's not going to happen, because this is not Chelsea's DNA. Chelsea's DNA has always been to buy experienced players, guy men. These guys are boys, and if you want to grow with young boys, sorry, if you want to grow with young boys, you have to give it time. You have to give it time. And this is what happened to Arsenal. And this is what happened to Arsenal. It was not overnight. It was not overnight. You have to try and fail, sack a manager, get a new manager, or they need to grow with this their current manager. They need to grow with this their current manager, because this is what Arsenal did. But the problem is that, can you wait? Can you wait? A lot of clubs, like all these Chelsea, Manchester United, they cannot wait. They want it now, now. And it does not happen like that. The trajectory of football has changed. Has changed. Football is getting younger. And the thing with young players is that you have to wait, except you want to go and buy experienced world class players, and it will cost you. Look at Chelsea. They had to go buy Liam Delap, what's his name, Joao Pedro, all these guys. They should have put that money and bought world class striker and Victor Osimhen. They want to be saving money. Well, you have to wait. You will have to wait, and you have to be putting up with score lines like this, with results like this. Arsenal went through it. When Arsenal was building, Arsenal went through it. I remember in the Champions League when we got battered by Bayern Munich. Arsenal went through it. Years of failure. So you would have to stick to your coach. And if you want to be going with young players, you will have to wait and develop them. You will have to go through years of suffering. Of suffering. So yes, that is it, man. They were battered 8-2 by PSG. PSG stomped on Chelsea's necks. Like it was not even a like by 15 minutes. Chelsea were already down 2-0. Like it was it was over. There was no remontada there. Now the next and final game is the Manchester City Real Madrid. I don't think Manchester City stood a chance. Like I said before, this is not the Manchester City of Kevin De Bruyne, of Leroy Sané, or Vincent Company, or Fernandinho, of Raheem Sterling, of Kun Aguero. This is not that Manchester City. That Manchester City has, all they say all good things come to an end at some point. It's not like Manchester City are not a strong club. They're still a very, very strong club that are capable of doing fantastic things. However, this is not that man. That's fear. That aura of fear has left, and that is what makes champions, and that is what differentiates champions from non-champions. Is that air of flair? That is that invincibility. That's what Arsenal is playing with now. That invincibility. It's like I don't know how to explain it. It's like an energy. When you play champions, you just know it's like an energy that even when they're struggling, you just know that they will find a way. That that invincibility energy has left Manchester City. Has left Manchester City. So when teams are playing Manchester City, teams are not necessarily afraid of Manchester City anymore. Teams know that listen, if we play hard enough, we can get at these people, man. We can get at them. And once you lose that air of invincibility, even little teams look at you as food. They look at you like, oh, we can grab it, we can nick a point from you. And that's what's happening to Manchester City. They don't have that air of invisibility again. What they have is reputation. They don't have walk-ins. They don't get walk-ins right now. They don't get walk-ins. Now reputation then gets. Do you understand? It's like that bully in school that used to beat everybody, that used to win all the fights. Then one day goes to bully a new student, and the new student knock him for floor, beat him, gives him lumps in his head. And then at that point, people start to look at him like, wait, oh, this guy isn't even as bad as we thought. Oh. Then now everybody thinks that they can fight him. Then another person, fights him and gives him cocoa black eye. Then everybody start to look like, you know what? Wait, oh, this guy isn't as strong as we thought. That is what is happening to Manchester City. Look at how Madrid has useless them. Six, six was it? 5-1 aggregate. 5-1. Absolutely destroyed. It's supposed to be 6-1 if Vinicius Junior had scored the penalty in the first leg, and certain chances Vinny missed today. This game could have ended 4-1 today. 4-1. 4-1. This game should have ended at least 7-1 aggregates if Vinny took his chances. But yeah, and that is it, man. So at the time of me shooting this video, it's 104. So later tonight is this, all the other Champions League games, the other Champions League games. So Barcelona will be facing Newcastle second leg. Bayern Munich will be facing Atlanta. Bayern Munich are practically, or they are already in the quarterfinals. To be fair, because aggregate currently is 6-1. Atlanta stand no chance. Liverpool face Galatasaray at home at Anfield, with Galatasaray actually leading at the moment. I feel like Galatasaray are going to go through, in my personal opinion. Atletico Madrid, Tottenham. That is Atletico are leading Tottenham 5-2 already. Like Tottenham is that even a game? It will even be disrespect for Atletico Madrid to start all their first team players. So That is it, man. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel for more notifications, and let me know who do you think is going to win this year's Champions League. Who do you think is going to win this year's Champions League? Let me know in the comment section below. And until next time, thanks for watching. Peace.